Hola, hola. Hola, hola. Bueno, ya vimos el primer vistazo a lo que se viene en la temporada, aunque creo que llegó un poco tarde. Les pido una disculpa, chicos. Les bajo aquí el tema. Creo que no llegué tan tarde. Apenas van a mostrar pues lo que son las imágenes de arte de los demás compañeros creadores de contenido de Destiny. La verdad es que este año fue bastante productivo.
I think about being part of a fire team. For me specifically, I think about being a fire team leader. I think about not only being a fire team leader for my friends, but also for my family. So many of my friends trust me with their guardians. There you go. Very good. Very good. Oh, you just killed your dad. The teamwork that really pays off, especially after a long period of hard work. To come in clutch in the big moments. I've been able to pass along my love of Destiny to so many friends, also to my family. Been able to game with my daughter. To be able to guide little lights is truly a treasure. But to me, the most important part of being a guardian is being kind to everyone that we meet. Your kindness and joy may spark hope in a darkness zone where light is fading away.
Ah, esa está chida. Eso de seguro lo hizo un mexicano. Ahí vemos a la vanguardia oscura. Se ha hecho muy popular eso entre las teorías de Destiny, la verdad. Que cena todos los días. Vaya que todavía falta una hora para que comience. ¿Qué creen que deberíamos hacer? ¿Jugamos un rato? ¿O creen que ya no estén disponibles los servidores?
I think one of my most favorite memories with them so far is Valid Disciple contest mode. It's my very first time even doing day one raid. And we didn't get it, but it was a good time. Yeah, through my clan, they've helped me become a better person, a more confident person, a more confident player, and I wouldn't be the same without them.
Ok. Los exos. Usando estasis. Estasis. No lo otro. Vex in the Shield. Ok, buen arte. Very red gear. Ok. Oye, de veras. Bueno, ya sabía, desde el año pasado sé que hay muchos creadores de contenidos de Destiny así que hacen arte. Pero vaya que yo pensé que no eran tantos. O sea,
Destiny ha sido una increíble experiencia y me ha ayudado a escapar de mi realidad. Acá muchos me conocen por mi apodo, Deus. Y gracias a este personaje he sido capaz de hacer incontables amigos, vivir experiencias inolvidables y atesorar también momentos dentro de la comunidad.
ay, qué padre.
Para mí el juego es más que simplemente lo que se ve en pantalla. Han sido las personas, las actividades, los hitos como jugador incluso, y la experiencia y todo este sueño e historia que hemos construido en el que hay un desarrollo de personaje.
La comunidad española ha tomado mucha fuerza el último año y también la comunidad latina. Yo creo que no había tantos jugadores latinos desde que se dio lo de New Light. Los cabezones de Carlos. Sí, se hizo muy divertida esa misión. Lo de estar buscando los muñequitos. Ok. La chica de Barbarzo. No recuerdo cómo se llama, así que no pregunten. Ok. Qué bueno. ¿Cierto? Recuerden que en Marte los que dominaban Marte eran los Cabal. Luego los venció la Vanguardia y pues eso provocó la guerra contra la Legión Roja en Destiny 2. Okay.
Hi, my name is Lillian. I go by Lily Bean Cosplay on Instagram, and I've been doing Destiny cosplay for 6 years. I started playing Destiny in late 2015, and I just fell in love with the designs, the characters in the game, and I went to a local convention dressed as my hunter. From then, I kind of just wanted to keep going. I did House of Winter Fallen Drag, the Sweeper Bot, Soraya Hawthorne, Anna Bray, my hunter character from Destiny 2. It always has to do with a character that I'm drawn to in some way from a design standpoint. If it's a character that has a bunch of LEDs or, moving arms or something, I look at it and say, how can I make this? Because I want to learn from it. I want to diversify my skill set with my Spire's Associate costume. That's like a fully immersive costume. You can't see my face. I'm wearing a helmet and I have 2 extra arms. So was a part of the cosplay Cosmodrome event that Bungie did for Bungie Day, and being able to take a character whose design I wasn't super familiar with yet and create it in real life and then wear it, it was great. There's so many different groups within the Destiny community. You have artists, you have musicians, streamers, gamers, and I think that's really special. Just to be able to show, like, this is what inspires me and this is what I'm going to do to show that it inspires me.
Bueno, la armadura nueva, el estilo Ghost Rider. Sí, el cosmético de la temporada de los Atormentados estuvo genial. Yo creo que cuando todos lo vimos hace 3 meses fue como que wow, se pasaron de lanza con eso. Hace mucho tiempo que no veíamos armaduras, bueno, cosméticos así en Destiny. ¿Qué tendrá cargando ahí? ¿Quién es esta? La María Negra. Ana es Ada One. Son las armaduras estas nuevas que salieron en la mazmorra de dualidad. Le dice bien feo, la Kaitel se la pasó haciéndole bullying. Le dice bruja manchada por la colmena y cosas así. ¿Qué ganas?
I'm Dan, aka the Rat King's crew. I've been playing Bungie games since Marathon 2, and I've been playing Destiny since it launched. I'm so happy to be part of such a creative and passionate community, and I can't wait to see what Destiny is going to do next.
Pero es que traduzco mejor leyendo. Es la primera. Ay, las ideas. Ese está locochón porque me recuerdo de la temporada de Splicer de la Hydra que nos gritaba así, no man, no, ya empezaron con los furros, chale. Y sí, la primera. No, sí era la primera. Sí, a huevo.
Well, for somebody who's played from D1 to D2, what makes a Guardian is
es un engrama azul, mijo, eso ya no se usan.
All odds, keeps pushing forward, always making the advance, always moving forward. I was introduced to the game by a bunch of friends, military, law enforcement. I'm in the public safety field. Don't have a lot of time to play, but when I play hard. Long story short, a lot of those folks either got deployed, went to other jobs, or just didn't really see them anymore. Complained about the content and not having it vast. I've learned from D1 to D2, the game has definitely grown. And me as a diehard Guardian, I keep pushing forward because I have the confidence and the ability to see what's happening. And now here we are, still playing.
El nombre del espectro del cuervo es Glint. Está chido. Los pósters. Ay, he querido tener pósters de Destiny. Sí, mandarlos a enmarcar y todo el rollo. Pero los oficiales, no las cosas que venden en la plaza de la tecnología. Sonaré muy mamón. Ya, Glint, a huevo. Ok. Ahí van dos pesos
Taylor,
pesados.
aka Blind Gamer Steve. I'm a content creator and accessibility advocate and consultant in the video game industry.
My name is T Morris. People call me T. They call me T Monster. I also go by Twitch Dad.
When I started looking into wanting to stream, I had known this dude here for about, I think about 10 years at that point. And so I
Oigan,
reached out
¿se
to him. I
dan
was
cuenta
like, hey,
que
you
todos
know
los
what,
creadores
I
de
really play
contenido de
Destiny.
los 2000 que ahorita están en Twitch ya están rucos? Bueno, sin agraviar a los presentes, o sea, pero ya se les ven los años encima. No estoy hablando de 30añeros, estoy hablando de 40añeros. Muchos creadores de contenido en inglés eran 20añeros cuando empezaron. Ahorita ya van para los 40. Chale. Ay, la campaña de la Guerra Roja.
As someone who has a disability where it affects my vision and it is hard for me to be able to play games in general, having someone take the time and guide me through being able to play a game and not try to rush me through things, that meant the world to me.
Where's that? All right. Oh, there he is. Yes! Yeah! Oh, yeah!
In any other game, it's usually people don't want to play with a disabled person, whereas with Destiny, I can jump in with T, I can jump in with my friends, and even when we just jump in with random blueberries in the community, we can still be able to help each other out, and that's why I love Destiny.
Did you shoot my friend? That was a bad choice.
It's all about being able to reach out and pick someone up and being like, we can do this together. And that is being a hero. It's being able to lift everyone else up.
It's not about you. It's about the fire team. That's what makes a good Guardian, is when it's about reaching the end goal and reaching it together.
La temporada del Splicer, del simbionte. Fue de las mejores temporadas que ha habido, la verdad. Fíjense qué raro. Hace mucho que en Destiny se tiene la broma de que los caídos no valen como enemigos. Pero curiosamente, la mejor temporada que tuvimos el año pasado fue Splicer. Fue Fallen. Y eso estuvo muy chido. Quizás, se supone que esta temporada, por lo que estuvieron filtrando y todo, es también caída. Y a lo mejor, no quiero adelantarme, posiblemente Bungie le metió mucho más punch a esta temporada que otras. Posiblemente estemos ante la mejor temporada del año. What are the Guardians? Made the first time Destiny. En Venus. Sí, fue cuando los Vex invadieron y llegaron al Jardín Negro. Ay, pero qué bonito. Las 3 subclases, falta la de Arco 3.0. Yo soy un espectro. Más importante, tú, espectro. Es las primeras palabras. Dice... Con Game Point, Energy Points. Up down, arriba. Sí, las armas cinéticas están arriba. No están abajo de, perdón. O sea, las armas energéticas están abajo de las armas cinéticas. Los Elixir Babies. Ay, hubo un furor el año pasado por los Elixir Babies, de veras. No sé, era muy tierno ver cómo las Elixir cargaban a sus bebés. Digo, sin agraviar.
Hello Guardians, I hope you are all doing well. Happy Bungie Day. Here's my 8 years story of me being a Guardian in Destiny. I started playing Destiny in Destiny when the game first came out. I was a Hunter main back then. Now I'm a proud Titan main. My favorite moments of Destiny will be my first ever raid that I've covered an LFG group and the friends and clanmates that I met and play with to this day.
Thank you por ese like, quien quiera que seas. Creo que ya sé quién eres. Y te mando muchos besos. Y solo te diré que esta noche hay pollo. Mara Soft. También son de los que ya les cayó gordo Mara. O sea, no aparece, se pone mamoncita la vez que aparece diciendo, uy, yo soy bien pro y acá voy a ayudarles con esto, y al final no puede hacer ni madres. Keitel se ganó nuestros corazones. Sí, la verdad es que se ganó nuestros corazones. Así gran nota y da miedo, pero se ganó el corazón de todos, ¿no? Tiene un corazoncito también de apoyo, la pobre. Ay, no leí eso. Zavala. Ay, Dios. Ay, yo quiero imprimir en 3D también. Ando viendo si puedo hacer algo así. Estaría chido. Los exóticos de los hechiceros. Ay, de verdad, los hechiceros tienen un rollo bien raro ahí con sus cosméticos y sus exóticos.
Hi, I'm Gray, or Gamer Girl Gray. I am an Indian American content creator and community builder on Twitch with the motto Gaming for Greater Good. I started my gaming journey in 2014 when 2 of my best friends gifted me my first Xbox. And I distinctly remember finding Destiny and staying up the entire night to play the game. No, get me out, let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out, I'm dead, I'm dead. Not dead yet. I found a place where I could be myself without any fear of being treated differently for who I was, how I looked, how I sounded. No.
¿Se han dado cuenta cómo la mayoría de los que podían transmitir en los años 2000 eran puros clase media alta? Bueno, al menos aquí en México, ¿no? Casi todos los que transmitían por aquellas fechas era porque tenían papás que les pagaban el internet chido. Tomando en cuenta que en el 2000 el internet más chido que había era de 3 megas.
The charities are honestly a very big part of my stream because I see my content as a means to an end, to fight for what's good in the world.
No, God, please help me. No, oh.
Building a happy corner of the internet is just about being able to lift people up in the few hours that they spend with me, creating something that people feel comfortable.
¿Quién fue el que
in, they feel
popularizó
like they can
primero
be
los
their authentic selves in.
los
This game and
gameplays?
this community constantly
Fue
reminds
PewDiePie,
me
¿verdad?
that we're not
Yo no me
guardians
acuerdo.
just in name. We
Yo
truly
empecé
are
a ver
bearers of light.
internet por ahí en el 2014. No, sí, como el 2011, más o menos. Engrams. Sí, Engrams. El testigo. Pero con una voz así como que... El testigo. Keitel con su martillo de guerra. Las cartas del tarot, versión Destiny, no manchen. Acá hay todo. Ah, sí. Cosas. Ah, guardianas. Ahí está Sabatun en su crisálida. Las palomas, las palomas. ¿Cómo es pigeon? ¿Paloma en inglés? ¿O sí como pichón? ¿O cómo sería? Es que aquí en México le conocemos por paloma. ¿Por qué furros? Guardian. Es pigeon, ¿no? No sé cómo se diga paloma.
Being a guardian to me has shown me how important it is to stand up for what's right and to defend those who are oppressed and marginalized, just like Bungie continues to do every single day. So thank you, Bungie, for being real life guardians to me and everyone else across the world. The way that you stand up for social justice issues and make sure that everyone in your circle is loved and cared for is truly inspiring. I know that it dictates the way that I live my life on a day-to-day basis. Thank you so much, and eyes up, Guardians.
¿Cuál es? What? ¿Qué es what? ¿Brase? ¿Será frase? Creo que sí es como cita. Ah, la cámara de cristal. Ah, la cámara de cristal el año pasado fue una cosa de locos, ¿eh? Claro, después se puso aburrida. Pero como era la que tenía acceso casi todas las personas, fue la más jugada. Soy sincero, desde que empezó la temporada de los Tormentors no he vuelto a tocar un impulso. Me estoy oxidando.
My name is Xavier, but you guys probably know me as Solar Flare. I make 3D animated skits based off of content in the Destiny universe.
Prepare to return to being a god-killing, time-breaking, paracausal space cowboy.
Ah, es animador, sí me acuerdo de
este chavo. Creative stuff you hadn't seen before, things that would be funny situations, but I didn't know how to produce them. One of my friends suggested to me this program called Blender, and so I tried to learn it myself. I taught myself, I made a video. Solar Flare was the main character, and it went from just being the channel name to being the name of sort of who I am.
Qué padre, empezó a hacer esta animación 3D y modelado por Destiny, qué padre. Y con el software favorito de todo el mundo, Blender. Les puedo hacer publicidad, pero Blender es el chido.
It would be really cool if we went to sleep. But instead, what if we thought about a new video to create?
Hey, Bobby! Hey, Steven!
The future for Solar, I'm really excited. I'm working on a
Ay, tengo que empezar a seguir este chavo, de verdad. Sí. Se hace cosas bien chidas. Las he visto de repente como que las resuben a YouTube, pero digo a Facebook, pero sí sé que hace cosas bien
chidas. The Destiny community feels like a group of friends that you may not live in the same area, but every time you go back, it's like you never left. When you get to know the people that you're spending your time with, Not only does it make every moment with them more valuable, but also you might find yourself going to one of their weddings 5 years from now just because you decided to send them a friend request after they danced with you in a Crucible match.
Are you really going to tell me that looks more like the letter V than a slice of pizza? It ain't pepperoni!
It blows me away just how dedicated people are to creating things in this community. It's just so cool to see how passionate people are about all of it.
¿Es Shiro? ¿Por qué no? Gracias. Oye, esos hechiceros con su máscara de Anubis, en serio. Ya sé que van a decir que nosotros nos la pasamos con el ¿cómo se llama? Con la bueno, no me acuerdo cómo se llaman, pero son las pinturas para la armadura toda hecha. En versión manga de Evangelion. Yo quería que ella fuera quien le diera el golpe final a Saba. Me imaginaba una cinemática aquí bien densa con ella con una lanza de vacíos y... Pero bueno, imagino que por cuestiones de presupuesto. Esa la hizo mexicana. O un latino, en general. Uy. Las hechiceras, de la colmena. Hechiceros de la colmena. Sí, es que tengo entendido que casi todas las magas de la colmena eran femeninas, así que bueno. Creo que el único mago de la colmena es Nocris. Witch Queen. Dynasty. Acelas. El nickname del espectro del cuervo. Una cosechadora. Yo sí quería que fuera la nueva Azul. Pero bueno, es que se veía padre, ¿no? Tener la guadaña. Ojalá y dejen la actividad todo el año. Porque me faltó completar varias cosas. Bright. Ok. Tal esto cada vez que sale termina por afinar las cosas. Pues sí lo hago. ¿Cómo ves? Tegendo Z. Por cierto, ¿quién eres? O díganme porque no los ubico por nicknames, no me acuerdo. No, sí, Gendo, cierto. Sí me acordé de ti. Compañero de Destiny, sí, me acordé. Un saludo, Gendos. Supongo que también estás viendo esto. Así que, excelente. Ahorita fuertes para empezar la temporada ahorita que inicia. Aquí los enfermos de pruebas de Osiris. Y ahora sí, ¿cómo le hacen? Yo la verdad, miren, desde que he jugado Destiny no he logrado hacer un pruebas dosis en limpio, un flawless. Nunca lo he logrado hacer impecable. Y no porque sea manco. Puedo asegurar que no soy un manco. De verdad, lo juro, no soy un manco. Solo que no me tocan buenos colegas. Mala excusa, ¿verdad? Ya están las pruebas en solitario. Sí, no, ni siquiera en solitario lo he logrado. Me imagino que sí me falta un poco de habilidad, pero no sabría decir en qué áreas. Supongo que necesitaré un maestro. Cosas de cazadores. Siempre ponte cosas bien hechas. Yo creo que si la tintura de los poseídos fuera permanente, siempre la traeríamos, la verdad. Ese arco se ve chido. Ok. Treasure Door. Sí, creo que Treasure Door. Correcto. Sí me sé lore, Europa Beyond Light. Ok. ¿Qué cuentas, Gendo? Dime. Sígueme hablando. No ubico de a qué hace referencia. No me acuerdo, no jugué el Rey de los Poseídos. Las armaduras godines. Sí me acuerdo de las armaduras godines, pero no compré la mía. No completa, solamente el casco porque te quitaba el gorro y te ayudaba a hacer ciertas armaduras acá chidas. Si te das cuenta, por ejemplo, todos los cazadores que tienen el casco de la armadura godín es porque les quita el gorrito de la capa y pueden hacer algunas como outfits estilo motociclista y así. Pero realmente el godines casi no me gustó. Me gusta el atuendo lujoso, ese está chido. Ojalá hoy anuncien lo de Fortnite, porque estaba viendo las filtraciones de las armaduras y sí se ven muy bien. Muy bien. What is your guardian god's name? Ok.
Hey, soy Colossus. Desde mis inicios como guardián hace ya 7 años, jamás creí que llegaría tan lejos. He puesto fin a incontables amenazas y he conseguido las armas más exóticas. También he explorado el sistema solar durante años en busca de las respuestas más enigmáticas. Y aunque las encontrara, seguía faltándome algo. Hasta que lo encontré. ¿Sabéis qué forja verdaderamente a un guardián? Los compañeros que están a tu lado en cada aventura, ya sea tu escuadra o tu clan. Ser guardián va más allá de uno mismo.
Sí, me acuerdo que hice video de Colossus.
Todo, desde partidas privadas que acaban en carcajadas hasta culminar una incursión en su modo 24 horas. Si no fuera por ellos, yo no estaría aquí. Es por eso que mi mejor momento en Destiny fue encontrar a mi clan, ya que a partir de ahí, mi destino.
Y mi clan no ha jugado desde principios de temporada. Los ingratos me han abandonado. Te lo digo también a ti, Gendo. Pero bueno, se entiende, quizás las ocupaciones de la vida. No siempre se puede ser un guardián. Rulk. El discípulo del testigo. Creo que fue el mejor personaje de este DLC, la verdad. Sí tiene mucho lore muy bueno. Banshee usa esta arma para pelear en el ejército. No sé la verdad. No conozco ese detalle de lore. El nómada o el drifter. El nómada, el vagabundo. Whatever. Ay, cuidado la abuelita. Sabatun Kitty. Sí, es que sí estuvo bien pasado de lanza que literalmente lo único para hacer era... Pues sí, fue la mazmorra. Fue la mazmorra, fue la actividad de Leviatán, hacer la aventura de temporada y se acabó. Y yo dije, ¿qué? Y dije, ok, el solsticio va a estar chido, pero no, estuvo bien flojo el solsticio. Les juro que ni siquiera completé la carta de... Bueno, la carta del evento. Ay, espero que haya sido porque le estaban metiendo mucho poncha esta temporada. Sí, estuvo un poco floja esta temporada, debo admitir. Está chida por lore, por un poquito las actividades, pero le faltó mucho contenido. O al menos el contenido no era tan rejugable que podías hacerlo sin problemas. Y como que el hecho de estar rotando mazmorras y todo ese rollo como que no afianzó mucho bien las cosas. Al menos no con mi clan. ¿Cuándo se introdujeron los campeones? Cuestión. Confesaré que no hice esa incursión. Conejito, el cuervo conejito. Otro exo. ¿Cuál es la altura de...? No, pues no sé, mijo. Insisto que ese cosmético me encantó, pero no justifica que haya estado tan floja la temporada. Ese cosmético, sí. ¿Eso qué es? Es el francotirador que nos dieron en Beyond Light. Está bueno, está bueno. Me lo pones en pies, mijo. 9.10. ¿Cuánto mide un pie? Como 3 y algo metros o algo así. No, 1 metro y algo, creo que sí.
I want to say one of my biggest memories about playing Destiny happens to be the raids and a lot of the friends that I've made along the way. VOG is my favorite raid, and when it came out, I was ecstatic. Again, happy Bungie Day to everybody, and hope everyone's having a great one, and I'll see you in the stars.
Ok. Eso fue algo que no me gustó. Yo esperaba que, no sé, Calus hiciera una aparición más épica y no. No sé de hechiceros. Yo no es mi clase main. Creo que la única clase con la que suelo jugar es cazador. Muy esporádicamente juego con las otras dos.
Hey everybody, I'm Tej, and I'm a Guardian. What makes me feel most like a Guardian is being able to be me. We all choose to represent ourselves in different ways, and when you learn about someone's Guardian and the legend that they've written for themselves, it teaches you something beautiful about them. I strive to create a space online through content creation that people can just come as they are, and we can all just celebrate in this beautiful world that Bungie's created for us. There's something really amazing about being able to connect with people through a shared interest without the fear or anxiety that comes with thinking that you have to be something you're not.
Sí, lo más seguro para que en la forma final nos enfrentemos al testigo. Siento que el DLC de... No sé por qué, pero presiento que el siguiente DLC van a sacar a todos los discípulos del testigo para enfrentarnos y quizás un poco ahí a Calus ya para vencerlo por fin en la incursión. Pero habría que esperar. Quiero ver ahorita cómo va a quedar porque estoy viendo las filtraciones y se ve muy bien la estética. Como que la dirección de arte le metieron mucho punch. Va a haber mucho lore nuevo. Estoy casi seguro que la van a romper. Bungie estos años de verdad que le ha invertido bastante bien. Y pues con el dinero de Sony estoy seguro que van a volarse la barda. Creo. van a anunciar más cosas. Pero habrá que esperar 15 minutitos, chicos, 15 minutitos y estamos viendo qué nos depara Destiny para el 2023 y lo de esta temporada. ¿Cómo se llama esa espada? ¿Parte coronas o separadora de algo así? Yo quiero que traigan armaduras del estratega y cosas así. Se ve muy bien. Quizás incluso algo de Shiva. Shiva es otra cosa. No quiere parar de hablar sobre The Open. ¿Cómo se llama? El invertido, sí, perdón. A veces me pregunto cómo hubiese sido una batalla entre Rulk y Sabaton. O sea, me imagino una pelea así bien locochona, bien densa. Yo creo que si alguien entre la comunidad de Destiny hace cosas en 3D, algo a lo que le tiraría que hiciera fuera a una batalla entre Sabaton y Rulk. Se vería de pelos. Se vería tripiante. Los señores del hierro. Oh, sí, cierto. Este año perdimos a uno en la vanguardia. Bueno, no lo perdimos, más bien nos lo movieron de lugar. Ese recursos humanos de la torre como que no está muy bien manejado. Por su culpa hubo un accidente de novato en el cual el cuervo mató a un supervisor de Kaitel, de la contratista, y de repente ¡pum! Dijeron, no, pues pásennos un empleado, y pues le pasaron al jefe de los señores del hierro. Chale. Lord Saladino. Lutius es gusano. Tun, tun, tun.
Everyone versus Telesto in a lore-rich universe with an abundance of adventure and exploration.
But that's not just why we play, is it? Believe me, nightmare hunts give me quite the adrenaline rush, but my Twitter mention suggests you expect more. So, did you keep playing for the life-changing god rolls? Or the mile-high sparrow flying? The Nessus frogs? The day one raid nights with your friends where you spend 8 hours and still don't know what you're doing? The Nessus frogs?
Es divertidísimo jugar en compañía. Yo les digo algo, la verdad es que si van a jugar Destiny, no esperen que jugando en solitario tengan la mejor experiencia, porque va a ser muy corta. Si van a jugar Destiny, tienen que animarse a jugar con más personas, porque es donde viene la diversión. Estar ahí haciendo jerga, burlándose de las cosas. El caballo estelar, me acuerdo cómo le tirábamos bullying al caballo estelar en diciembre de 2021. Estuvo bien denso.
What I'm trying to say is, Destiny 2 is so much more than the game we see in trailers. While many joined for the fantasy, we found a home amongst its people. And in the endgame, we stayed for the discos, the DPS, the grenades, the bad bubbles, burgers, and tannics behind every corner. Trombone medleys, laser tag, tower names, yeehaws, the dings, the punts, the clutcher kicks, sweeper bots, stasis crystals, cheese spots, raid callouts, pub stomp, ramen, sliding, chicken petting, Galahorn, Sepix Prime, shiny swords.
Las promocionales de Destiny casi no me llegan.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We are so excited to dive in and talk about just the kind of journey of being a massive Destiny and Bungie fan, and what that's like to go from massive fan to actually working at the company that we loved so much. I want to learn about your journeys. How did you get started playing as a player, not as somebody who works here, playing Destiny, and kind of how has that relationship with the game evolved through the years? You know what, T, you and I, we've had many conversations with Session. I want to hear from you, buddy.
So I've been playing the game for a little bit.
El campeón de la raid, no manches.
And so, you know, as proof of
¿Qué raid fue la que ganó él?
you know, the D1 Alpha veteran status, I have my raid belt here today. So this is my cringe moment where I will be
it's
proud.
nice to see one in person. I've only seen it on like screens and like screenshots.
Tell us a little bit about it. Like, how'd you get it? When'd you get it?
Oh, so that is
¿Está la escuadra?
the King's Fall World's first belt. Me and my 5 friends, we
No
had, I say used to have, but I think we probably still have it. World's First of Fun. Like whenever we were doing World's First races, it was supposed to be about having fun and showing off the new stuff. And for me, I always loved raiding just because like I'm a problem solver by heart. Like that's also why I love working here, because that's what I do is I just kind of solve
Fíjate,
problems.
qué padre. Yo creo que Destiny es de los pocos juegos que incluye mucho a sus mejores jugadores. Por ejemplo, Fortnite, no es tan usual que un jugador sea tan abrazado y que destaque sobre otros. Son demasiados jugadores, pero en Destiny como que no hay un consenso claro de quiénes son los mejores. Y la mejor forma de demostrar que eres bueno es jugando PvE. Teniendo colegas y demás.
On this in terms of like the loving the problem solving and loving to get into that. I really fell in love with Destiny when I started raiding, and that was like my moment where I was like, I grew up playing puzzle games and mystery games, and like I love those types of games, and to find that in Destiny and to find that same sort of like problem solving, but to do it with a team and to do it with your friends.
I'm on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm totally on the same page. Like the #1 story for me around that is definitely Deepstone. Deepstone, like I played all the way through Deepstone with my clan, which was amazing.
When you look back at the history of
Creo que
Destiny,
es
there's
la
so many
única
moments like that, and I'm
Cripta
kind of
Piedra
interested,
Profunda
is there any
fue
characters or
muy
story moments that
buena
really stick out to
expansión.
you
La raid,
from
lo
our
que me gustó mucho de Cripta Piedra Profunda, que fue del DLC Beyond Light, es que la escena del espacio, o sea, la parte donde vas por la estación espacial, se ve increíble. Creo que solo por esa escena vale la pena completamente comprar el DLC, aprovechando que el internet está tan caro.
Seeing where she is now and then how she's like really helped everyone else. Like a lot of people, I'm a huge Zavala fan. I'm a Titan. It's just like in my blood.
Sí, eso es un detalle muy interesante. Y lo suelo comentar mucho a las comunidades cuando hay gente que dice, ay, ¿por qué juegas Destiny? Es un juego muerto. No es cierto. Por ejemplo, yo suelo comentar, lo que pasa es que en Destiny no te puedes dar el lujo de ser un tóxico o un culero. Que hay gente que sí lo es, pero en Destiny no te puedes dar ese lujo. Porque luego la gente no te quiere ayudar y poder completar muchas de las cosas que hay en Destiny no se puede hacer solo, a menos de que seas un super jugador, pero rara vez la gente completa las cosas solo. Necesitas más jugadores. Que eso solo se consigue en un clan constante y sobre todo siendo un buen anfitrión, que ayudes a los nuevos, estar carreando, ser una buena persona, un buen ciudadano y un buen jugador.
Bungie, what the heck? Like, how do you do
and
this?
And how patient she was. Like the fact that, like, when Crow would stumble or Zavala would stumble, she'd be like, "Come, take a step back. Patience. Healing doesn't happen overnight." And
exactly.
I think what we've seen in the last couple of seasons of the incredible narrative team and just diving deeper into all of the characters, I think that's one of my favorite things that we've seen from the kind of expansion from where we started to where we're at now, is just that deeper dive. And I know kind of where we're going with things, and just like the more that we're going to be able to dive into and hear characters' backstories and understand where they're coming from and what makes them, I think to everyone's point, it just makes it more than just a shooter game. You have that additional aspect of these incredible stories that we all connect with in different ways. And it just makes it's the Bungie magic, it's the space magic, it's the thing that like... that
then you do a little emote jig at the end.
Yeah, exactly. And it all somehow, and it all makes sense.
It's called Glimmer Guns.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, how cool is it like that we're here now? And I'm kind of interested, like, knowing your long relationship with this game before you even worked here. And then that we're sitting on this couch, getting to nerd out and talk about the things that we love the most. How has that been, making that transition? What was that inspiration that drove you to be like, you know what? I'm gonna put my application in. We'll see what happens.
Oh. This is my first gaming studio, for sure.
Yeah.
It's getting into Bungie is interesting because I always wanted to be in tech. That's really where I started. For Destiny specifically, I played it every day, but I never really thought of it as a place to work until Black at Bungie. And so I reached out to a bunch of people on LinkedIn and was asking a bunch of questions. I was like, hey, look. So it was really amazing to be able to like get into the industry and get into Bungie.
Destiny for me was That was back when I was streaming for fun. It was just a hobby, but then it became just a lot more to me because it has all these things I love about games. Because I love RPGs, I love, you know, like the game feel of a Bungie game, right? When like you shoot that gun for the first time and it just feels good, you know.
Space magic.
Space magic.
Space magic.
Like,
and Magia espacial.
Play the wizard, so I played the warlock.
You know, because that's all I want to do.
Fíjense, tengo otro canal donde suelo hablar de este tema de fantasía y demás. Creo que por ahí lo voy a reiniciar, pero luego les paso el enlace. Donde hablo sobre estos temas de cómo hay narrativas que se pueden explorar. Destiny explora mucho esta mezcla entre fantasía y ciencia ficción y me gustaría que se abarcaran más cuestiones. De hecho, quisiera dedicar un video especialmente a este tipo de historias donde se mezcla la fantasía y la ciencia ficción a un nivel que creo que es justo y necesario. Porque este tipo de universos llegó para quedarse. Hay muchos otros juegos como servicio que están explorando estas narrativas y vale la pena ver cuáles son. Porque mucha gente no les da el espacio que merece. Por ejemplo, por ahí está Outriders también. De hecho, quiero jugarlo. Todavía no tengo chance, pero voy a jugarlo. Estoy seguro que sí.
You hear them throw that phrase around and you're just like, but what does it actually mean to shoot your shot? And it's like, no, it's like, you're not going to respond on Twitter. It's like, I'm going to find you in other places.
Even if you have those moments of doubt. Even if you have that moment of fear, because sometimes to making a jump like that's scary.
It's scary.
If you're scared, do it anyway.
Yeah. The leap into Bungie was really similar to Will's story. This is my first role in gaming, so it was this like huge leap to. I had been working in marketing for a long time, but I really wanted to make the switch to something that I'm really passionate about and something that I love.
Que Destiny sacara juegos de rol. O sea, juegos de mesa de rol, estilo Dungeons and Dragons. Estaría de perla, bueno, fregoncísimo, estaría muy bien. Creo que yo jugaría especialmente ese juego. Estoy seguro que sí. Estaría bien chido rolear con mi guardián, estaría increíble. Por ahí había una página en Facebook para rolear guardianes, pero pues no fue tan boom, porque pues hacía falta mucho material y nadie quería hacer la de Master.
Incredible.
I'm sorry, but that's such a good point because there's so many people that ask us like advice on how to get in, and I was rejected numerous times before finally getting that spot. And you know, I know it breaks my heart because so many other people are in that same position, and then they stop chasing that dream because like this isn't my first gaming job. I've been working in this industry for almost 20 years and as a journalist, and it was really scary to make that jump. I felt like it was right. I kept applying for narrative, and you know, granted, I sent them not appropriate fan fiction as writing samples, so I get it. Like, no hard feelings. I get it. They were like, you know, it was just, they were like, hey, we think you'd be a good fit for community. Like, let's put you through that interview process. And we did that. And it was scary at first, but the more I kept interviewing, I was like, wait, no, this was made for me. Like, this is what I was supposed to do. And it was funny because all of that trepidation that first week left because I felt like it was family.
I'd like to think that Bungie gives space for that human condition, that human element. It's a place where I can feel like I can be myself. It's a place where I am being taken care of. And I'd like to think that, you know, we're not perfect and there's things we can improve upon, but we try to talk about those things.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. It was honestly so much fun just diving into
minuto.
A little bit, not just like as devs and working on Bungie's side, but as players before that and the journey into that.
Aplica a careers.bungie.com. Yo daría mi huevo izquierdo por trabajar en Bungie. ¿Cómo? No sé. Créame que no sé. No he hallado una vacante que se ajuste a mi perfil. Latinoamericano con media ingeniería y que te gusta, solo habla español. Estaría increíble. Sé que voy a prepararme y quizás algún día tenga la oportunidad. Pero sí, daría mi huevo izquierdo por trabajar en Bungie.
That's what I want in Destiny. I want darkness.
I just got chills.
This is everything I've ever wanted out of the story. Multiple G-Force. Oh my god, I love it.
Rolk. Ya mero empezamos. Estoy ansioso.
The Leviathan is back. A scythe? A freaking scythe!
Where is Callus?
He has given himself over to the witness.
Esas voces en inglés de Zavala y Keitel.
Oh, you look nasty.
What the freak? Is that the witness? Man, that's crazy!
Ok, empezamos. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Destiny.
Welcome, Guardians. So awesome to be here with you again.
Last time we got up here, we got a
Esa
chance to
estar de nuevo
show
con
you
ustedes o aquí de nuevo.
the Witch Queen.
La
and
última
her
vez
majestic
mostramos
throne
The Witch Queen.
Since then, it's been a wild year for Destiny.
You returned to the original loot cave to reclaim the fabled Gallarhorn.
Then, you exorcised an ancient evil from a hive queen, so you could put it inside a grenade launcher.
And now, you've been spending the past few weeks cleansing a derelict Leviathan from its twisted nightmares.
In fact, the last year has been the best year we've ever had in the Destiny community. I hope you can feel it as well. And seeing this kind of reaction from our community, it's both humbling and inspiring.
Because our team here at Bungie, we're not just developers, we're also guardians. We're trying to build what we'd love to play in Destiny, and that's what brought each one of us here. Brought us not only to Bungie, but also brought all of us to this final showdown between light and darkness.
So, without further ado, this is the beginning of the end. This is Lightfall.
Del fin. Tengo ansiedad. Ay, Dios mío.
When they see this glorious end, they will come for us. To save the faithless struggle.
¿Cómo cabal, pero qué?
To its last drop.
¿Escalos?
It's who they are.
Armas para destruir pirámides, no manches.
Let them come and see. Our shame reveal what they do then. Unshackled from hope. That is who they are. Because only in the end are we free.
Se ve bien. 23 de febrero me lleva.
I've seen that thing 100 times now, and every time I see it, I still kind of get goosebumps.
Instantly, I had chills. It's all here, it's all happening now. Things are finally coming to a head.
Thematically, we really have been honing in on that kind of bombastic, big set piece approach.
It's gonna be over-the-top action, adrenaline pumping, like the whole time.
This is really kicking off the conclusion to the Light and Dark saga, where we finally face down this foe that we've been anticipating facing for so long. It's pushing it to 11.
We've been hinting at this malicious force in the darkness that's been our enemy behind a lot of our conflicts. We revealed that enemy, we put a name on it and put a face on it, and that enemy is the Witness. And the Witness is coming with its newly empowered disciple, Callus.
Callus is really crash landing with a new and more powerful army than ever before. They've got new powers, they've got new armor, they've got Tormentors to join their ranks that are going to be bigger and badder enemies than we've ever faced. Callus is taking that army that he's bringing with him to be the harbinger of the Witness's doom.
This is such a pivotal moment for Destiny. Everyone is coming to have a last stand with Callus and the Witness to really avoid the next collapse, something that we've been trying to avoid ever since Destiny 1.
We see in the trailer that we're headed to Neptune, and on Neptune there's been this hidden city called Neomuna where an alternate version of humanity has been blooming since the collapse.
Neomuna is the capital city of Neptune. It's a giant metropolis that we were completely unaware existed until now. What's interesting and exciting to me about this place is that it's pristine, it's new. It's not like a lot of the places that we've explored previously in Destiny. Exploring that space is very, very cool.
There's so much new stuff to discover in Neomuna and in Neptune. And also I saw some new characters there. I'm really excited to get to know Cloud Striders and their story.
Cloud Striders can be compared to Guardians. They're both protectors of a civilization that's potentially under threat. But Guardians were chosen. It's their duty to protect humanity. Cloud Striders have chosen to protect their people.
There's like an awesome opportunity for the Guardians to learn from the Cloud Striders and their way of living and their philosophy of life.
So we've got the newness of that city, the newness of the Cloud Striders that we've never been aware of.
And then, of course, you get a glimpse of this green energy. I wonder what that is.
Strand is the new darkness power that we discover here. Something that's unique about Strand, unlike any of these other powers we've ever had before, when you play through Lightfall, you are discovering this power for the first time. No one in the universe ever in the history of Destiny has used Strand before.
This is the Guardian discovering darkness on their own and learning how to shape it and manipulate it and use it against Callus and his forces and, you know, have fun in the new urban environment of Neomuna. You are really gonna have to prepare yourself for a wild ride.
We just got a glimpse of our new destination, Neomuna, our new foe, Callus and the Shadow Legion, paired with the Witness, and a very brief glimpse at Strand, but that's just barely scratching the surface of what this release has to offer.
Right, like what we've just seen in that trailer is just the tip of the iceberg, and we've got a whole lot more we're excited to show you coming up.
Last year, we wanted to return to our studio's roots in creating some of the best shooter campaigns in the industry.
That's been our legacy since Halo, and we tried to push that front and center in The Witch Queen.
And it's about more than just guns, but creating an adventure in a handcrafted world full of surprises. Then, we added the legendary campaign option, because great combat needs to challenge you, to test your thumb skill, your tactics, and your build crafting.
And we heard loud and clear that you want more of that. In fact, 2 out of every 3 players that completed the Witch Queen campaign did it on Legendary.
You tested yourself against the Witch Queen and her Lucent Hive and rose to that challenge. And then you let us know it was one of the best shooter experiences that we've ever made.
So with Lightfall, we want to push that even further. We want to give you the best Bungie action experience that we can create with the brand new Lightfall campaign.
Lightfall is going to change the way that our players move, fight, and explore everywhere in Destiny.
Neptune is this fantastic destination. The capital city of Neomuna is a really fun place to explore, and it's this bright neon metropolis. There's a harbor, office buildings, an arcade.
This is a city that we've made, and using Strand to traverse through it and explore it, it's going to be so exciting.
There's some places that
van a convertir a Destiny 2 en un Grand Theft
you're gonna be able
Auto.
to explore and get to places that you couldn't before.
Look at that up there. I wonder if I can
Bueno, no
grapple
sé,
through
es
there.
que
I'm
lo
going to
que
be a
pasa primero.
kid in a candy store.
It's not a city that is collapsed. It is a city that has lived through the collapse.
Neptune now has to deal with the cloak being pulled back and them being revealed to the world and are now central of the conflict.
Callus has taken his capital ship and just like planted it right down in part of the city, and it's Cabal-occupied territory. It's a city under siege. You've got this infiltrator vibe at times where you feel like a tactical team going into a skyscraper. You're dealing with Cabal roadblocks and patrols all throughout the city.
Okay.
The Shadow Legion, they provide that like characteristic Cabal brute strength. They're all about like volatility and power. And they've been enhanced now by pyramid technology. They have these suppression devices that can take away some of your super, take away some of your abilities. And then they fight alongside these terrifying new pyramid units called Tormentors.
Okay.
As part of his discipleship to the Witness, Callus has been upgraded. And so the Tormentors that they've brought in are these impossibly huge, unstoppable behemoths. They wield scythes, they can attack from
Creo
a
que
distance,
ese va a ser
they can bring you in close, they can drain your very life force from you. They are basically
Son psiónicos pero
embodiments of
tocados por
terror.
It's like a boss character within the battlefield. Your stomach drops. You're like, okay, I'm playing through, I'm having fun, I'm popping heads, doing this thing, and then boom, there it is.
También usan luz, sí, son psiónicos, pero como
Strand, Tormentors, Shadow Legion, a cool new environment. These are all a great setting for a new legendary campaign, and we're still making sure that we go through and we tweak and tune and we balance the encounters to have that right challenging level of difficulty for players.
The legendary campaign was a huge hit.
¿Vieron qué arma es?
It was the first time we had done that sort of elected difficulty where you could really test your skill and test your power. And so we're going to bring that back for Lightfall.
Of course, you're still going to have that higher reward tier, and we still want to make sure that you get that inside track towards being raid ready.
Everyone back in the studio is so hard at work on Lightfall, putting in the details and making this whole release come alive and continue to surprise and delight players. I am so excited to get this out.
Lightfall is unlike anything players have seen before in Destiny, and it's another step that sends you hurtling to the conclusion of the Light and Dark saga.
Oh, increíble. No manches, los hechiceros. ¡Hala!
Come on. Amazing.
I'm super excited to dive into Strand and talk about all the new stuff that we just saw.
Strand, like Stasis, is a power from the darkness. Unlike our light abilities, which are all about creation, darkness is more about consciousness.
Strand is psychic energy that forms this extra dimension, this sort of matrix that connects everything together, connects all living beings and all minds. And you, the Guardian, are sort of gaining the knowledge and gaining the power to peer into this alternate psychic universe and begin to pull at these threads and tug at these wires that are connecting all these living beings.
Por lo que tengo entendido es algo así como tomar el entretejido del espacio-tiempo con la mente y poder con él afianzarte a ciertas cosas. Imagínate la teoría de la relatividad sobre que el espacio es un plano y lo puedes agarrar como si fuera tela y hilos. Se ve interesante, es interesante el concepto.
Through movement or through damage.
Strand has a grappling hook. Since you're seeing into this cosmic web, you are able to grapple at any point because the cosmic web exists everywhere. Even if there's not an object there.
Mi pregunta es, ¿solo se va a poder hacer desde lugares específicos o se puede hacer en todos lados?
Taking that idea to the next level, putting that Destiny spin on it.
Sí, como que solo va a ser por algunos lados.
The Hunter's Kit, right? They're all about fluid movement, rapidly traversing space, and being very agile. But as we were developing, it's like, oh man, this feels like it's too much fun to just keep it to one class, right? So we made the call to expand this super cool new ability across all three classes.
Por si nos decían chapulines, ahora vamos a hacer las arañas o los monos. Va a estar chido con la armadura de Osiris del mono.
How each of the classes interpreted this additional psychic dimension like, in their own way, right? So the Warlock, they're the telekinetic master of Strand. So they're going to be able to telepathically reach into the Strand dimension, pull matter out, and weave it into this big barrage of these Strand missiles. Wherever they land, these missiles are actually going to unravel, sort of reweave themselves into a new form.
With the Titan, you're able to weave these claws and do an area of damage around you, spinning and slashing.
The super I think I'm most excited for is the Hunter Rope Dart super. The Hunter does a flip and weaves these strands into this rope dart and is swinging it as they're kind of moving around. The first time I saw that, even in its kind of like rough state, it just blew my mind. We've learned a lot from creating our other subclasses, and we've taken those learnings about combat, about movement, about build crafting. We've put that all into Strand, and I'm so excited to see where players take it once it's out there in the wild.
Todos colgando.
Destiny is a game that gets even better when you play with your friends. We want to create communities that are welcoming, inclusive, and that let you bring your old friends and make new ones. And since last year, over 5 million new Guardians have joined our ranks.
We believe that there are still millions more of your friends that would love to play Destiny with you. And the things that you want to see us improve in Destiny are also exactly what's going to make it easier to convince your friends to come and check out the game.
It should be easier to create custom, incredible builds. Easier to find people to play with. Easier to swap from being that boss-melting, storm chaser-wielding, falling star juggernaut right into that ultimate yeehawing, dead man's tail shooting, Titan's rampart crutching sentinel.
And if none of what Joe just said makes sense to you, we want to fix that too. Because it's not about removing the depth that makes Destiny so great. It's instead about allowing everyone to dive deeper with ease.
A huevo, Arco 3.0.
The changes we're making to make Destiny easier to come into, changes to how you build your characters, changes to how you see what there is to do and what there is to accomplish. And in the year ahead, we're actually making it easier to form groups in Destiny so you can go and do some of the greatest content that Destiny has to offer.
All the teams are working together to build this experience, and so that's what's really exciting.
We keep on hearing from players like, hey, unless I have a friend to play with, I don't know what to do. And so what we're trying to give them is like, hey, here's a path to follow. Guardian ranks are basically like a knowledge ladder. We actually progress you through 11 ranks. And it's really heavily focusing on exposing players to all the systems of Destiny.
At some point, the story about you as a Guardian involves other Guardians and what they think about you. That is just a whole new dimension of your journey through Destiny that we've never really explored before. When you show up in the tower and you see that person who's at one of the highest ranks, you're going to know that you're looking at a player who's actually really demonstrated mastery of many of the different activities in Destiny, not just from our perspective, but from the perspective of other players. Some of the higher Guardian ranks will actually be asking for you to step up, to actually rise to the occasion and prove to other Guardians that you are a strong player and a strong leader.
A lot of people have groups that they already play with, but this will really provide people the opportunity to be recognized for helping other people learn the game, but also provide more people to play with on a regular basis.
In the year of Lightfall, we're going to actually be investing in building a looking for group system in Destiny itself. You'll be able to look for other players, you'll be able to find groups that are looking for players.
I'm so excited about being able to form groups in the next coming year because it can be really hard to get through some of the hard content solo, and making it so much easier to find people to play with. It's just going to make getting into Destiny and doing the awesome content so much easier.
Yeah, and they'll be able to say, this is a player who I can trust to lead me through the new raid. I want to join their group. Or they can say, these are players who are new to the activity. I want to take them for that first raid because that'll be a great experience for them and a valuable experience for me as a leader.
It's really going to help players come together and understand each other better when they've never met before. It's going to make the game so much more social, and I think that it's going to really make Destiny players feel like they're on one team.
So Commendations is a feature that you'll experience towards the end of an activity. So you end the activity now and you get to see the screen that has all the people you played with. You can click on one of the Guardians and choose what experience you had with them. So were they a good team player? Were they fun to play with?
There's no better way to actually show how good a person is as a teammate or as a leader than to have other players say, this person's a great teammate, this person's a great leader. It's really a system that's designed to let players show appreciation for each other
Also using the commendation system, people are going to be able to say like, hey, this person as a good leader, and looking at the Guardian rank system, they have a lot of experience. It's going to be, oh, that's the person I want to help me get through this hard content that I've been struggling with.
Social games like Destiny give you an opportunity to like really connect with other people and
Más
do
incentivos para
things
jugar,
together
genial.
and get to know each other. And with a system like LFG, you're making it so that more people can get that experience started than ever before.
Both the loadout screen and the mod manager are completely new features.
The mod manager is meant to make build construction Destiny a lot easier.
We all love our fashion game. The fashion game's amazing. And so we're gonna take what we did for the fashion game and we're bringing it to the Buildcraft game. There's gonna be one screen where you can go to and do your entire loadout for your character. It's gonna be amazing.
So you'll be able to save the build that you've put together as a loadout and then switch between those things as you're going from activity to activity.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like with the new release Destiny and the commendation system mixed with Guardian ranks, we're giving players even new aspirations. It isn't going to be just about power level. It won't just be about gear. It's also going to be about that Guardian rank. It's going to be about those commendations. It's all the ways that we're bringing players together.
So today, we are also launching a brand new season of Destiny 2. And as we've evolved our seasons over the years, we've learned a lot. And I think we've been able to deliver some amazing character moments and events for the community.
We're long past the era of content droughts. Instead, there are exciting story and events happening in Destiny almost every week, year-round. And we're not slowing down.
Each season, we want to keep raising the bar for narrative experiences in any live game. We want to keep pushing to create unexpected adventures that'll make every season of Destiny unique. And we want to keep listening and learning from you, the Destiny community, so that we can create the strongest seasons of any live service.
Because the Witness is coming. And if we want to survive, we need a crew. We need to enrich our defenses. If you're feeling surly, maybe even loot our enemies.
We may even need to find a captain to join us on our next adventure in the season of Plunder.
La temporada del saqueo, Plunder. Oh, no mames, Nitrox se va a agarrar a chingazos con Eramis.
The old crew's now really under her command.
I've read about them. What is the human word?
Pirates.
Ah,
should be ready to deal with these outlaws.
Ah, la araña.
Well, anchors away.
Now show those pirates what happens when they crush Spiderhead.
Arco 3.0.
Hope you've got ammunition, Guardian.
Ah, excelente. Las armaduras, las armas. Ok. Ok. ¿Titanes van a esquivar en serio?
You got the goods, Guardian.
Ah. Ok, la super que habían dicho, lo de aventar la vara de arco. El mar de estrellas.
Sorry, getting a little swept up in all this adventuring.
No manches. Agosto 23, diciembre 6.
What are you most excited about for Season of Plunder?
Pirates. This season we said, what if we just go to the stars and dig up buried treasure?
We are unearthing a lot of mysteries and secrets. We're swashbuckling onto enemy spaceships. And then we're also learning a lot of things about some of our favorite characters.
We're gonna have an adventure this season.
Creo que ella es la hija de Mithrax.
Season of Plunder kicks off with Aramis being freed from her icy prison. She's collected old, fallen crews of pirates and rogue cabal together in order to hunt down mysterious relics and treasures.
It's time to meet your end.
So Guardians are tasked with stopping Aramis from collecting these relics. And in order to do that, you have to create your own crew of shady dealers and backroom brokers.
Drifter, Mithrax, Ido, and Spider are going to be helping you.
Anchors away. Ready when you are, Captain.
That's the beginning of Season of Plunder. What you're going to be doing is forming a pirate crew of your own. You're going to fill it with different crew members that you can recruit over the course of the season. Drifter is going to toss you the keys to your personal catch. Then you're just going to set out into the stars and do cool pirate stuff.
So excited.
This season, we have multiple brand new activities coming that will really give you a sense of being on a pirate adventure. One of the mainstays of this season is a new 6-player offensive called Catch Crash.
When I saw the concept for the catch with the big mainsails on it, I just said, oh my God, this is gonna be a fun season.
Just like seeing Catch Crash through the different iterations, like fighting on the deck of the ship.
You get to become your own ammunition and launch yourself from a cannon to the other ship. And you are the weapon, so you're gonna go mess them up.
Cazadores.
The second big activity we have coming this season is called Expedition. You're going to be guiding a massive drill that's looking for this buried, hidden pirate treasure, and you're going to have to be fending off of all these pirate crews trying to protect their hoards. And then our final new activity coming this season is what we're calling Pirate Hideouts.
We have so many different little maps that you can piece together fragments of this season, and they lead you to the lair of the Pirate Lord, right? Their hideout.
These are their caves where they're hoarding all of their amazing treasures and their mysterious relics.
These relics are mysterious objects of dark power, and they're all over the system. We don't know exactly what it is they do yet, but if Aramis is trying to collect them, it's nothing good.
Taking the opportunity to line the ARC 3.0 update with the Fallen, it just ended up working out perfectly because you got all the simple ARC weaponry and the ARC shielded captains. It feels right with that release, almost like we planned it.
ARC is a damage type that's about proximity, right? It's about going fast up into your enemy's faces and deleting them. It's the damage type for people that want to hold W. You don't want to retreat.
Unbridled aggression to the max.
Hunter is really about close-range action, being fluid and dynamic and agile, evasive. So we're going to give our Hunter a new super.
Los cazadores son fluidos y dinámicos.
Where you summon your ARC staff, twirl above your head, and then launch it out, and then it will embed into the ground or into bosses or mini-bosses or champions and jolt them. Like a big lightning strike will strike the staff and overcharge it. And while that staff is overcharged, it'll start Tesla coiling little lightning bolts out at your enemies. Warlock is kind of this elemental conduit. You are a class that will turn yourself into lightning. You will create things out of lightning. Previously, we had this exotic armor piece called Getaway Artist, where you consume your grenade and it'll make a what we call a sentient arc soul that fires faster and does more damage as a result. So we decided to roll that into base arc soul behavior. Anytime you are amplified, any arc soul you have from any source will become the supercharged version that will fire off just rapid fire bolts.
Titan's about being this unstoppable freight train. It's about this constant movement. So we gave Titans a new movement option, something that we felt like is going to be competitive in this new environment of air dodges and air slams. That's a new ability called Thruster. And it's all in first person. It's all very much in the heat of the moment. You see it happen. Its whole property is like rush down or getaway. It's a movement tool to the max. There's going to be this new melee ability called Thunderclap, which is like an amazing thing where he charges his fist, all super flashy. It's our first ever charge melee, so you hold down the button, and as that cocks back and charges up, you'll end up doing more damage and getting a little bit more range. And speaking of the whole goal of deleting things, I believe in PvP a full charge is a one-shot kill.
It is, oh yeah.
It's a little skillful to pull off because you're going to have to really read your opponent here. The whole through line with ARC is it really isn't that complicated. It's move fast, hit hard, and stay alive.
One punch Titan. One punch Titan.
What I'm most excited about in Season of Plunder is that this is really a season that has a sense of adventure. Yeah. You're exploring the system, you're looking for pirate treasure, pirate relics. You're seeing the world evolve in a way we haven't done before.
I love that with the activities in the season, we just leaned really hard into the pirate fancies. I love that we have your own catch. I love that you're tracking down buried treasure and then going after the pirate leaders in their caves.
The interesting thing about Destiny is we're not just a fantasy game or a sci-fi game, we're kind of a blend of both. And we take inspiration when we say pirates, it's old world pirates that you would see traditionally back in the 17 and 1800s. We have like a flintlock pistol, we have an exotic fusion rifle that plays different than fusion rifles you've ever seen before.
It's just like end to end, really leaning into that spirit of like the pirate adventure. And let's also make it so that new players coming in can actually jump in and get started. The gift of the Thunder Gods is a starter kit. It's a set of armor, it's a Thunderlord exotic weapon.
So jump in, join your friends, set sail, become the captain, and build your crew today in Destiny.
Se ve muy bien. King's Fall regresa. Gratis para todos los jugadores. Con armaduras y todo el pedo. Armas también. Me imagino que crafteables. Remasterizado y todo el rollo, El rey. Ok.
Man, it is so awesome seeing
Esta vez no podré jugarlo,
to
chicos.
Destiny.
Yeah, actually, King's Fall was the first thing I got to work on at Bungie. And I'm thrilled that a whole new generation of Guardians will get to experience this refreshed and reloaded showdown with the Taken King.
So, we've shown you Lightfall. We've shown you the new damage type, Strand. We've shown you some of the deeper changes to the game that we're going to be making throughout the next year. But we have one more thing that we are excited to announce today.
Destiny is coming to the Epic Game Store today.
Okay.
Epic has been an absolutely fabulous partner to work with. They love Destiny. And we are just huge fans of what they've been doing in the social game space. When we first started working with Epic, we sat down and talked about the impact that their games have had on us. And they had a bunch of the same stories for us.
They shared stories about playing the Vault of Glass and how much they enjoy the social experiences in Destiny. And I got to talk about the summer of Fortnite Chapter 1, Season 5, when my whole family was laser focused, taking turns in the island to unlock Drift.
In addition to launching all of Destiny 2 on the Epic Games Store today, for the next week, if you download the game on Epic, we will give you the 30th anniversary for free. If you haven't earned your Galahorn yet, or you haven't played the Grasp Dungeon, come to the Epic Games Store and you can jump in for free.
We want to welcome all these new Guardians with a celebration, one that stretches a little further than the last city.
Ah, no va a estar Kate. No te pases de lanza. Lamento va a estar ahí. Ah, los guardianes. 823. Oh, no está disponible. Sí, tiene un código gratuito en la Epic Store. Okay.
A few years ago, we shared our plans for the Light and Darkness saga. This journey, years in the making, is coming to an end. Since we started charting our own course, we've been building this story. Across 5 years of expansions, since the first pyramid ship emerged in Shadowkeep and we first spoke to the darkness. Then, across Beyond Light, the Witch Queen, and coming up in Lightfall in the final shape, we're building towards a climactic collision between the powers of light and dark.
We've also been working on the Destiny engine behind the scenes, preparing our technology and our game to last for many, many years to come. Because Destiny 2 is not going anywhere, and neither are your expansions. We want this story since we first communed with the darkness on the moon to be fully playable, start to finish. And we're happy to announce today that we are not planning to sunset any more expansions. We want the Destiny universe to grow, and we're going to continue to do everything that we can behind the scenes to keep that possible within our game engine.
But enough about the distant future. Let's talk about today, the best day all year to jump into Destiny.
Yes, because if you're looking to catch up, right now, all expansions are free to play for this entire week on every platform for everyone.
Right now, Season of Plunder is live, and the Helm's got a set of supercharged art gear for anyone looking to catch up on the fun.
Destiny is live on the Epic Game Store. You can download it for free, and you can get the 30th anniversary pack as your welcome gift.
And if you liked what you saw about the future, right now, pre-orders for Lightfall are live on all platforms. And anyone who purchases the annual pass gets the exotic auto rifle Quicksilver Storm today.
Today is a perfect day to play Destiny.
Whoa. So we'll see you in game.
Okay, okay.
When they see this glorious end, they will come for us.
I've read about them. What is the human word?
Pirates.
Okay, ok. Sí, las cinemáticas que ya habíamos visto. Las colaboraciones, pues se viene mucho por hacer. Mucho que comprar también. Habrá que ver qué nos depara el camino del siguiente año.
Let them come and see. What they do then, that is who they are.
Destiny 2 Showcase. Oh, el post-show comenzará pronto. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Muchas cosas para digerir. Wow. No me imaginaba todo lo que va a salir. Bueno, sí, porque pues, me he visto unas filtracioncillas. Pero sí está bastante denso. No sé si anuncien más cosas. Segundos de una así información para digerir. Quizás lo más seguro es que ahorita vaya a salir a la venta todo el desmadre. A ver cuánto cuesta, porque por lo que veo va a estar cariñoso. Un pase anual, ya no es como la Definitive Edition. Va a ser un pase anual que me imagino que quizás incluya las cartas de evento y ese rollo.
Hey Guardians, and welcome to the Destiny 2 Showcase post-show. I hope you're having as much of a good time as we are, because it is so good to finally share all the things the teams have been working on so hard behind the scenes. We've got Arc 3.0, we've got Space Pirates, we finally have Drifters saying more than 2 words. It's a beautiful thing, and we've got some really cool stuff lined up. Before we get to that, I want to say what a pleasure it is to welcome to the stage the one, the only, D Flawless.
Hey,
how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Yes. Thanks for having me. It's such a blast to be here. Like you said, we got Pirates, we got Arc 3.0, we got Light. We got so much stuff to talk about. I can't wait to dive into it and just go over everything.
Go ahead and give us your best Drifter impression. Go ahead.
Pirates.
Pirates. I love it. I love it. It's going to be great. We've got some deep dives with some of the developers that are responsible for the beautiful world of Destiny. We've also got a live gameplay stream later on with some of the team as well, which is going to be a good time.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Hopefully nothing crazy happens.
No, we love crazy here. We're Bungie. Come on, let's go.
Well, never mind.
But speaking of deep dives, you actually have something coming up, right?
I do.
What you got?
I got some members of the dev team here with me, and we're going to be talking about some of the new stuff that's coming to Destiny 2. What's going on, y'all?
Howdy, Flaws. How's it going? Thanks for joining us.
What's going on? All right. So last time we did this was Shadowkeep, and Dado was here. And let's just address the elephant in the room. All right. There was a popular meme made, and I don't have a notebook like Dado did. I have cards, okay? So you can't meme this. All right?
Solid.
We're safe.
We're safe.
All right. How's everybody doing?
So good.
Good.
Happy to be here, man.
Awesome, awesome. Let's go around the table and let's have everyone introduce yourself. Let's start with this lovely gentleman to my left.
Hey everybody, I'm Joe. I'm the game director for Destiny 2.
Oh, hey everybody, I'm Dan. I'm the general manager for Destiny 2.
I'm Taylor. I am the senior test lead for Season 18 and Season of Plunder. And yeah, excited to be here.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm the project lead for Destiny 2 expansions.
Hi, I'm James Tsai. I'm one of the creative directors on Destiny.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you all so much for being here. So let's just kick it off. We're all just talking. We're all just having a good time.
Sí, ya subieron en varios idiomas. No sé si ya lo habían subido en español.
Neomuna.
Neomuna?
Yeah.
Neomuna. It looks so good. Did you guys see that trailer? It looked so good.
I'm very excited.
I'm very excited. I think in general, like in Destiny, we've went to very different destinations. There are very nature ascendant, and I think I'm really excited to just see what a up to date, like super futuristic neon city looks like, and I'm very excited to just use the grapple on that. So. Yeah.
Grapple.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say the thing about Newman, it's really cool because, as Kat was saying, we've gone to a lot of like abandoned places, a lot of nature ascendant places that are falling apart or overrun. But New Moon is like this. It's a civilization that the people believed in, and it was worth protecting. And it really embodies like the positivity and the hope and the optimism that runs at the core of a lot of what Destiny does. So. It's a really cool place.
I think I'm excited for how different it feels from where we've been before. What Kat and James were saying. I think last year the team was sent on a mission and we said, "Can you make a really cool swamp?" And they're like, "Okay, yeah." And then they're like, "Okay, we've gotten really good at this like swamp making." I was like, "Great. Now make a city, right? Like now make like futuristic, like something that's never been done before in Destiny, where you feel like minutes before you got there." It was functioning, right? Like people were thriving in this place, and that's just a place that we've never been before in Destiny.
Absolutely, you guys killed it with the design. And did I see this correctly? Are we getting destructible environments in the game?
So the game is like all about like blockbuster action, big fun sequences there. And yeah, there's definitely like some locations, some places where there's gonna be a lot of like things blowing up, a lot of visual flair. It's not like the kind of destructible, like dynamic destructible stuff where you're like gonna blow like a new path in the level and be able to like take a different route than you thought you could. But it really adds a lot to the mood and stuff to have like these things blowing up all over the place. It really complements the theme of the release.
Yeah, I think for us it's about really highlighting some of those moments, right? You're gonna place the rally banner down, and just a sea of Cabal or Vex is gonna pour out, and then suddenly glass is flying everywhere and fans are going, right? And that's that moment that we want. And then we're like, okay, yeah, I think I earned that, you know, those 2 treasure chests for my encounter there. I'll be on my way.
After all the explosions.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's the trick, right? Like, it's a war zone, right? Like, I know we've been at war, and I know we've been protecting the last city, but to Joe's point, we just spent, you know, the last year in the swamp kind of playing detective. And this is, the battle is there. It's huge. It's larger than life. So there's things blowing up. There's the constant struggle. It's just a very different vibe. I'm super excited for the action of it.
Who doesn't like blowing stuff up? I do. So we talked about a little bit. Tell us more about who we're going to be encountering on Neptune. Who are we fighting? We saw some Cabal.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing is, you know, the Witness has pulled in and sent Callus, right? You probably saw that concept of Callus's, you know, in classic style, the big pyramid ship with his own sort of effigy crowned on it. And so there's going to be a lot of Cabal. And then there's also this sort of Vex undercurrent threat of Neomuna as well. And so that's an interesting thing that players will sort of discover, you know, what they've been dealing with for the past. But on top of that, I mean, you know, Callus is back, loaded up, really as a disciple of the Witness. And so...
Is it really him?
I could say with like 97% certainty. It's like Callus and not a robot.
Definitely probably.
But yeah, it's so cool because you know, we've been seeing like a ton of stuff going on with like Kayatal and stuff in the past few seasons and things, and we're starting to explore like more of the backstory of like the Cabal, find out more about them as a combatant race. It's just really exciting to see that happening, like the Destiny universe continuing to grow, and Callus, like, we're gonna find out like why he's, you know, signed on with the Witness. What does he want? What does he hope to gain?
Yeah, but speaking of which, though, but like, even though it's 97% Callus, and it's the Cabal, but it's not the Cabal we know, right? Like, as becoming a disciple, Callus got some upgrades. So like, there's a different Cabal we're going to be fighting. There's different flavors to it.
And I think the biggest, right, you know, upgrade, it's not just the Cabal. There's another unit of the pyramid coming with the Cabal, right? And the Witness said, hey, you're going to need some help. And that's what we call this, the Tormentor, right?
Those things look terrifying. What can you tell me about the Tormentors? I'm excited to go up against these guys.
They are terrifying.
They are terrifying. We can tell you that. Yeah, so the Tormentors are a new pyramid unit that will be joining the Cabal and the forces of the Witness this time around. And they're basically bosses in the battle arenas that you will encounter throughout Neomuna. They are, as you said, terrifying to fight against. They have different phases, and they're really like, scary mini bosses.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we call them like terrifying Grim Reapers, and these things are awesome because they're like the first like pyramid units that are like in the core combatant sandbox now. That you know, so that they're gonna anchor like a lot of tough encounters, and they have a bunch of different ways they can hit you, right? They have like this like side thing, we called them, you know, like I said, our terrifying Grim Reapers. So they throw these like side like projectiles at you. They can rush in and like, you know, like grab you and stuff. And it's just like, it's a completely different experience fighting them. It's a really, really fun kind of like.
They're living up to their name.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get tormented by some Tormentors.
I like how terrifying Grim Reaper was the throwaway term. Like, that's scary.
This is Grim Reaper, but worse. And we also have another new character type. What are we calling these Cloud Striders? What can we say about these guys? Are they friend, foe?
Yeah. A little background on the story of Neomuna. So during the first collapse, there was basically a ship that was able to escape, and that's how the society in Neptune started, and how Neomuna as a city came to be. They basically have been preparing all these years to avoid the second collapse and make sure that all their citizens are safe. As part of that, there is this class of people who actually are volunteers. And it's a very different paradigm from what we know as the Guardians. The Guardians are basically chosen by the Traveler to defend humanity. With the Cloud Striders, they actually volunteer to go through a bunch of cyber enhancements and really be ready to protect the citizens in the city. And so that's a very heroic thing to do. And we're going to be able to discover more of their story and how they came to be. But also it comes with a cost, like they actually shortened their lifespan for about a decade as they are Cloud Striders. And so you basically have 2 at a time, one who's mentoring the next one, and we're going to see some of those things play out in Lightfall.
Yeah. What I sort of love about the Cloud Striders is they sort of form this mirror for the Guardian in a bunch of ways. You know, we think of Guardians as the only heroes for the solar system, but the people of Neptune have come up with a different way. And you know, you take yourself as a Guardian, you know, this 6-foot mystic hero, and then you stand next to one of the Cloud Striders, and you're like, oh,
I'm small.
Yeah, and every one of the Cloud Striders looks like they're hitting the gym, you know, morning, noon, and night, and they have a very different approach to combat maybe than our sort of like tactical view or mystic powerful view. They're all force all the time.
Yeah, it's a beautiful juxtaposition, right? Like you have the Guardians, as Kat said, that were chosen, like, you know, chosen for immortality but still for defense and protection, versus these Cloud Striders that opt in to shorten their own life, the antithesis of immortality, to sacrifice their mortality also to defend. And it's interesting to see, like, to explore how those two different societies play out and how they approach battle and how they approach combat. It's going to be really awesome to see it play out.
That's awesome. So speaking of combat, we have a new energy type, Strand. Tell me everything about Strand. I want all the details.
Grapple. What else do you
I mean, it's green. You saw it was green. Like,
it's green. There you have it.
That's the bulk of it.
Yeah, I think one of the interesting things for Strand, you know, is it's the first power where your Guardian is the first person to ever encounter this. It's sort of a thing that you're learning about, and you have mentors that are helping you learn more about it, but you're really on the front lines of this sort of new darkness power, and what does it mean, and then I think how that gets, you know, translated into gameplay is this high mobility. We really love the thought of the cosmic web, right? Behind all of us, there's this web that connects everything, and Strand is about touching into that web, and that's why grapple can grapple anywhere, right? You don't need a point. Yes. The web is everywhere. You find the web and pull it towards you, and how the different classes sort of, you know, make this web come to life, I think is going to be really interesting for our players to discover over the next few months as we start talking more about it.
Absolutely.
And it's been something that we've been exploring on throughout the whole campaign, is also your Guardian's journey in discovering Strand, as Joe was saying, and how we can learn and utilize this new darkness power is part of the story that we're gonna go through with players, and so it's been really cool. As a Titan, I'm very excited about doing the Titan thing and actually like have like hold Strand and have like a whole AOE.
What's with all the punching?
Whoa, they're claws now. They're grafted on.
Excuse me.
This is refined punching.
Gotcha.
So yeah, super excited about Strand, and I think one thing that I really want to make sure that we highlight is what Joe said. Like, you don't need a grapple point to use the grapple. Like, you can actually grapple onto anything, the air or whatever you want, because we are using this cosmic web that permeates the world.
Yeah. That's really good for me, because as a hunter who...
Voy a poner de fondo ahí para que me cuente para ver ese tema. Ya saben, Bungie y sus cosas. Y les transmito la otra ventana. Espérame. Ok, vamos a transmitir esta otra. Ay, pero esto no. Para que las veamos en español y sin ningún pedo. A ver, no. Vamos a... Ahorita. Vamos a ver esto. Empezamos por la primera. ¿Qué es esta? La de Lightfall. Ucrania, español. Búscala en mexicano. O en español latino. Ojalá. Francés, aquí está.
Cuando vean este glorioso final, vendrán por nosotros. Para saborear su inútil esfuerzo hasta el último momento. Es lo que son. Que vengan y vean. La revelación de nuestra forma. Lo que hagan después. Liberados de la esperanza. Eso es lo que son. Porque solo al final somos libres.
Eclipse. Excelente. Vamos a ver. Ahora el siguiente video. Temporada. A ver.
Veramis está libre. Las tripulaciones antiguas siguen sus órdenes.
He leído sobre ellos. ¿Cómo les dicen los humanos?
Piratas. Toda la vanguardia debería ocuparse de estos bandidos.
Perfecto. Deben anclas.
Enséñale a esos piratas lo que pasa cuando se meten por la araña. Espero que tengas municiones.
Es hora de hacer explotar esta vieja barcaza. Ya tienes lo que buscabas. Discúlpame, todas estas aventuras me tienen distraído.
Batalla de esgrima con Mithrax y Eramis. Ahora vamos a ver este otro. Español. Está. ganan y obtienen recompensas. Está chido eso. Lástima que no podré jugarlo. Creo que ya fue todo. No, sí, falta lo de Fortnite. Ahí está. Ay, yo que es que. Ya está disponible entonces. Excelente. Vamos a ver de qué tira ese calzado. Y pues ya, sería todo, chicos. En lo que respecta a trailers y demás, creo que fue un buen showcase. Espero les haya agradado. Yo pues de mi parte voy a jugar, voy a grabarlo y voy a subirlo como gameplay para no joder la red, porque pues el internet no está muy bueno para estas situaciones. Les agradezco, chicos, que hayan podido seguir la transmisión. Cualquier situación, ya saben que me lo pueden dejar por ahí, ¿no? Si por ahí, déjenme